Good evening. My name is Jane Hoffman from Political Gravity. I'm in a Dodgers Otani t shirt rooting for my home team this coming baseball season. Welcome, Bianchi and John. John, would you like to share a few more thoughts about your week and why it was grueling?
Oh, absolutely. It's the realities of modern life. I had to, smog my car, and part of the process is I needed to go to DMV. About maybe 9 months ago, maybe 7 months ago, my smog was due for my registration on my car, and so I went to smog it, and there was a part that wasn't working right in the emission system. It's called an evap canister module. And so basically it just takes the gas that's going to come out of your engine and recycles it in there so it all burns up. And without that, you can't get smogged. And without the smog, you can't
get past.
And without all that, you get tickets. So anyway, for about 7 months, I've been trying to get this part, take it to Midas. They can't get the part. It's special order, but you need it new, but they don't make new anymore. In California, in your states, you either don't need the smog or you can use used parts. In California, it has to be brand new, but they don't make the part. And you can see a catch-22. So I've been trying to figure out a way around it. And then this last week, finally the law caught up to me. They not only ticketed my car, they towed it to police impound.
That is really terrible.
So it's like $485, and it's like, well, if I get it out, they're still going to tow it again, or ticket it. So I finally, I checked around, found a way to get the part, and someone install it. But the thing is, with most equipment, it's in the engine block. You just open the hood, your own tools, you can do it, or you can take it to a shop. It's $100, $200. To get this one part, GM designed it where it's underneath the rear the transaxle. So basically, you have to lift up the rear end of the car. Like you have to have special equipment. It's like $1,000 job, $1,400 job.
Kind of like checking a transmission.
Yeah, so it's like it's an $1,800 to $2,000 gig, plus the $500 of the tow, plus a $60 ticket. So I go ahead and replace that. I talked someone to knock off a couple $100. Got the part at O'Reilly's new. It's not the manufacturer AC Telco, but it's their own version of it. So got that done. And then, I was driving around, and it's like the light, you have to drive it for 100 miles, computer resets itself, then you get smog. So, and I'm trying to keep it hidden off the streets. So I ran it around, and then the light wasn't coming off, the engine check light. So there's another thing, it's called the evap, it's basically a valve for it. So that's about $40. So I went and bought that. It's just a little plastic piece. And then to put that on, now I have to drive around for about 100 miles. So if anyone wants to drive, around LA with me, I'm your Uber tonight.
Did you, I have a question. Why did I had another solution. Drive to Nevada or Arizona and just change everything.
Wow. But I still have to register in California.
The problem, which car was it, by the way? The one that got broken into?
Yeah, it's a hot little number.
The thing is, could you afford to pay for it?
Well, the dilemma comes down to, well, first I got to smog it to sell it. So, and it's worth a good $6,000 to $10,000. It's a nice car. So the question is, do I just ditch it, sell it? If I sell it, then I'm going to have to buy something else. And I love the car. It's like having a beautiful girlfriend that's picky, right? That spends your money. Do you want something else? Not really. I'm very happy with it. Anything else is going to cost me money, and it's probably going to be ugly. So I know what I got. And what's interesting, though, is this is all like California money grab, because you got to, again, buy new. People were stealing catalytic converters, so they can't let you use catalytic converters. So you have to buy a brand new system when your smog goes out. That's like $2,000 or $3,000, and it's just a money grab. The interesting thing, too, with the technology at the DMV, they don't take ticket numbers. You know, you usually go there, you take a ticket and so forth. You have to scan code off of your phone to get an appointment number. So we're seeing the digital monster system. In effect, it's conditioning. And pretty soon they'll do it at the stores and at the banks. And the next thing they'll say, why have the phone with the scan code? Just put it on people. I mean, I really see how easy this is. Just we're being cooked like little frogs.
Okay, I'm gonna backpedal for 5 minutes, and then I know Bianchi's chomping at the bit to start the show.
Oh, go for it.
In 1998 to 2000, Jesse Ventura eliminated the smog check in Minnesota, and it never got reinstated. So you could technically drive down the road with a bad muffler or anything, or smoke coming out of your exhaust, and nobody's going to punish you.
I think, like in my case, you know, there should be exceptions. I drive it, you know, a couple times a week, like for, you know, to the store, a couple miles, and I have to move it off the, you know, on different sides of the street for the street sweepers. But basically, you know, in a year, I'll probably put 500 miles on it, and it's all this drama. It's, you know, like
when you were, let's face it, you were screwed.
Oh yeah, it's like if you're under, you know, say a couple thousand a year, or your car is over, you know, 15 years or whatever, just leave it alone. You know, but it's California. It's Gavin machine.
Okay, Don joined the show while you were talking. Bianchi's on the air, and so is Jane. And I just want to add on a footnote that I got a 2005 Chevy Malibu for $940, and it runs great. So don't be jealous. Just saying.
Yeah, you scored.
Yep. And I'm driving to Minneapolis in 2 days to a graduation party. So with
how much is gas per gallon over there?
$4.50. Approximately $4.
We're about $5.99 and up.
So Don Gallimore, are you present?
Hello, everyone. Yes.
Okay. Eventually, in a couple 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to be discussing Junteenth and Obama opening up. It's not called the Presidential Library. It's called the Presidential Center. So I want to bring that up in the show because we're approaching the month of June coming up. And it's also Prince's birthday, June 7th, and they just passed his 10th anniversary of his death. And as we talked about last week, about 2 weeks ago, Michael Jackson is now the number one Spotifyer, even though he's been dead 17 years. So, and Bianchi probably wants to discuss other, this is all fluffy stuff. I have things to discuss about Donald Trump. We can cover some other major headlines, what exactly is going on in Iran, and people's state of the art on the present economy and how it's hurting them or how they're weathering it. So who would like to start?
Let's get Bianchi. Or Don.
Bianchi has been excited for the show today, so I'll let him go first.
Go, Bianchi.
Do it.
Well, Don just spent $2,500 to get his car fixed, so I gotta say a prayer for him.
It's John.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I spent $4,500 to get my car fixed, my truck fixed.
No, that was Bianchi. That was John, Jon, from Southern California. Don lives in Reno.
Yeah, that's what I meant for it to sound like, Don.
Don, what was wrong with your car?
My truck, one of my granddaughters hit his school bus. Yeah, a school bus. That's a big liability. Well, that's all right. The school paid for half of it. That's partially the driver's fault.
Don't let teenagers drive.
We had the other one in another car. So both of them have now driving records, checks on their driving records. And
That's not good.
no, I mean, it's life. It's life. Every kid gets in an accident once. So they hopefully have learned their lesson, and they are, one of them that still needs to get insurance to have her own, we have a van for her, but the other one got her own car, and so we're, working slowly through it, but I just bought a Mercedes, so.
But the thing is, Don, if she's not even 18 yet, her car insurance is going to be $300 to $400 a month.
Probably, but we'll see. I mean, right now we're $600 a year. Yeah, we're taking care of that right now. But no, I mean, I pay. How much do I pay a year for insurance for all of my cars? I'm probably around $11,000. Why don't you just get a bond?
Don, you have a checkered past with cars too.
That's why I've been $11,000. I was paying the SR22 for 22 years. So I'm off it now. But I pay for 20
You guys should be Midwesterners like me. Get the cheapest car at the cheapest cost. My car insurance is $57 a month.
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, we live in the most important state in the country. So.
Excuse me? Minnesota's the epicenter of everything now.
No, Nevada is. We're the epicenter.
We're the legacy of George Floyd. We're the legacy of ICE. And we're the target of Tim Walz.
Right, because you've got more fraud and corruption in your state than any state but New York and California.
Bullshit.
And Illinois.
Bull cookies. Nevada runs a illegal gambling business which snakes everybody out of their lives.
Who does cookie?
Nevada.
Yeah, well, that's what they. I mean, but people willingly do it. Yeah, they're professional gamblers, so they make money.
I know some people do make money.
You know it better than anybody.
Kiss my grits. I'm clean now. I haven't gambled in a long time.
Good. But yeah, they can make money if they do it right. So
now I'm a blue collar worker at Walmart.
yeah, well, I mean, you could make money there too, but you're not gonna make. You gotta save it. From Walmart, you gotta save it.
The Walmart wages are the same whether you're in New York, Texas, California, or Idaho. We all make we all get $16 an hour to start.
Yep.
But the good news is I met people from Kosovo, Belarus, Brazil, Argentina, Ukraine. I've met people from all over the world there.
How about Somalia?
They're in. Most Somalians in Minnesota are in St. Cloud and the Twin Cities. They're not in Duluth.
Wow.
Okay, Bianchi, start with your next idea.
Well, I couldn't fathom paying no $300 a month for no car insurance. Shit, I pay $600. Or no, I pay almost $700. But that's $7,200 a year, man. It's more than that. But I got nice cars. I don't give a shit.
That's more than Donald Trump paid for Stormy Daniels.
Well, he paid $135,000, and then the other one he paid $145,000 for. So he's paying for his women, and he's getting a good bang for his buck.
By the way, guess what one arm of the Justice Department is doing? Looking at an appeal for the E. Jean Carroll case.
No, and they're also looking to appeal most of the rest of the. They're getting reparations
to the January 6th guys.
They're not getting any reparations. They just getting due process. Come on now.
That ain't no.
Now you got black folks bitching about that.
Well, actually, the biggest thing in the news right now is
reparations.
the slush fund that Trump. Go ahead, Bianchi.
That's how it's defined.
They getting due process like the Japanese did during World War II.
It's called reparations. It's called
Justice for the people.
It's called reparations.
It's from Donald Trump's slush fund that he won back from the IRS, which is rather pathetic while in office.
Fight for power.
Say what, John?
Then fight for power. Resist.
Why don't you pretend that? Why don't you pretend you were there January 6th so you can get your car paid for?
There you
My
go.
ex-girlfriend was there. She was actually going to the building, and she had her cell phone with her, and there's like, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 people, and she dropped her phone. When she got to about the steps, she said, "Oh, where's my phone?" And she went back, and a miracle of miracles, she's walking around just asking, "Does anyone see my phone?" And a person walks in and says, "Oh, is it this phone?" And blah, blah, boom. But the point being, if she was standing there at the steps, she'd probably be in jail. Like, that's all they counted. It's just like, you were there, you're going to prison.
She was pretty good. She was pretty good looking, and she's not violent, so I think she would have been pushed to the side.
Well, that's the whole thing. About 85, 90% of the people there were just people walking around, like going to the BLM protest or for George Floyd or OJ. They're just walking to see the scene, and they get arrested for 4 years, lose their business, lose their family. Some people commit suicide. It was really, like, in other words, I don't have an issue with, like, they arrested people.
And
But what you do, you give them a couple, in a couple of months, you set the trial, you sentence, and you move on. But they were, a lot of these people were in solitary.
some of them were
A
just,
couple of years.
yeah, but John, some of them were jerks. So they were.
Well, here's the problem. With BLM, they had $2 billion, dollars of damage, hundreds of cities. People did not serve that kind of time. Most of them got released or were bailed out by celebrities, but judges did not hold people for years.
You need to watch. You need to watch The Fall of Minneapolis, which was produced by conservatives, and how Mayor Fry let the police building burn down. He allowed it, and all this stuff that went on that people really don't know about.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff.
So we just passed the 6th anniversary of the death of George Floyd. And other than that, Minneapolis people are still, I don't live down there, but they're still, they won an award, but I don't know what's really going on down there recently.
You dig up George Floyd and kill him again.
You sound like my friend Billy Brook, who said he was a druggie and he didn't deserve that much attention.
He didn't. They invaded that elderly white pregnant woman's house and stole a truck. Him and 4 other men, black men.
Guess what?
And nothing ever happens to them.
The thing with,
That's our change.
if there's a documentary on YouTube called The Fall of Minneapolis, one reason he died is they forgot to hook up the oxygen in the ambulance. It wasn't just Chauvin kneeling on his neck. Someone forgot to hook up the oxygen on the way into the hospital. So there was more things to it than we don't know.
Well, he was hoping that is shoving drugs up his butt, and that helped to kill him.
Well, a year earlier, he was arrested for meth use, and he was taken to the hospital then, too. So he almost died twice in 2 years.
And American citizens have to pay for that.
The thing is, though, I talked to this older white lady at Walmart, and it's her opinion that he was killed in cold blood. I mean, some people are emphatic about what they saw, and some people won't change their mind. So the legacy is within our memories.
He was killed in cold blood, first of all. And second of all, as an American citizen, he's trying his best to live. He was jumping around from place to place, home to home, until I guess, who was it? It was who allowed him to stay?
He had a newborn baby, or she was under 3.
Right. And then the other thing is that the white lady who he was more or less seeing told Chauvin, the police officer, that she didn't want him, she wanted George. And so he was mad about that.
The thing that made the reason that this whole thing exploded worldwide is because an 18-year-old taped the whole thing, and there were 3 officers that stood by while Chauvin kneeled near his neck. It was a spectacle for the world to see.
Well, the thing is that George Floyd was not. He was killed the least worst way. When you talk about Chicago and the way that some of those people are being shot by the police and everybody else, it's really assassination by police.
Yeah, look.
Police don't shoot nobody in Chicago.
Yes, they did. Laquan McDonald in the back.
That was just one. But the
No, there were 40 people killed the same year as Laquan McDonald.
They do it all the time,
No, they don't.
It was in Chicago that year, and Laquan McDonald was one of many.
And Bianchi, you live with pigs anyway. All that Louisiana and St. Louis, those people killing each other all the time.
Listen, from 2020 May to 2020 to Memorial Day 2020 to Memorial Day 2024, black males shot 15,488 of each other and murdered 2,409.
Right.
No police shot nobody.
Yeah, but there was a homeless black guy in Louisiana that was killed for selling $5 videos in front of a store. He was killed for he was selling $5 videos in front of a store, and he was iced out.
Yeah, but you had a black man come from someplace up north, I think Kansas, came down here and ambushed 2 white police officers.
Where was that?
In Baton Rouge.
I know that there was a police ambush in Dallas about a month after that. That city that starts with a B in Louisiana, it's right in one of the major cities. There was a police ambush that year.
Yeah, it's a bunch of black kids tear up the Mall of America there in Baton Rouge. And, I mean, we just got to face it and tell the truth. These black kids are completely out of control.
There's no
look at the street takeover in Chicago.
There's no
all week long.
There's no Mall of America in Baton Rouge. That's in Minneapolis.
That's in Minneapolis.
Well, they had a America Mall here in Baton Rouge where the kids shot the place up.
I know that there was a mall in this last 6 months that got shot up.
That was the last few weeks.
I thought it wasn't in Atlanta, but I forgot where it was. Well, we've had a tough year in America, just like last year.
I don't know what it is, but it's just totally ridiculous, man.
Now someone else could talk because I have to go to the bathroom.
All right.
Okay, I'll be right back.
That stuff goes on, Don. We got to admit it. And nobody wants to say anything, man.
That's because everybody got guns. We need to get rid of the guns.
Ain't nobody getting rid of their gun. We'd be like Iran and Venezuela then.
Hey, but so we have a big punk, little dick white man coming in and taking everything. You're right. And so, the bottom line is that when blacks try to arm themselves, we get stopped. I don't
arm myself. My daughter, my family arm themselves. We don't get stopped.
Yeah, but that's because I don't know what it is, but all I know is that
white folks ain't doing nothing. The blacks, nothing whatsoever.
Well, that's because we're carving out our niche. We're taking,
look at all these black female Democrats that's in office that's doing all this corruption. Every day you hear about another one that's stealing and frauding somebody.
That's because they learned from the white man. They
ain't learned shit from the white man. Then why we always blame this stuff on whites?
Because it's white man's fault.
It ain't no white man's fault. The biggest racist I've ever experienced is black people, Don. I ain't got to lie.
I'm not talking about racism per se. Black people have to be racist because we African Americans are being stepped on by everybody.
They ain't being stepped on nothing. People run from them. That's why they run from them. Look at your schools. Look at St. Louis public schools, down less than 17,000 because people leave, even blacks leave.
Right, and that's a good thing. That's just natural. It's called change.
You got a book out that's called The Uncivilized War Between Blacks and Niggers. Everybody needs to read that book. It's true.
It probably is, but because every culture has a class system.
Oh, we ain't talking about every culture. We talking about blacks. Blacks
are differentiated between skin color, between where they're from.
Okay,
if they're
you guys.
from Jamaica or they're from the South, they're terrible people.
I love Whitey.
John,
If they're from
I am going to change the topic soon because you guys are in your self-involved argument.
Well, they're smart. Black people in the North are smart. Black people in the South are dumb. It's just like that's a cultural class.
I know
Took it to the plantation. We can't get off it now.
all this.
The whole United States is a plantation. That's the whole point. We're built by slave and now Mexican labor in our plantation. Without it, we wouldn't have anything. Nobody would be wearing shirts and pants.
Yeah, but that's kind of old.
They built nothing.
That's kind of old.
Levi Strauss was not Mexican.
They wouldn't have tobacco to smoke. They wouldn't.
Slaves didn't build a damn thing. They worked and they got paid too.
Slaves built this White House. We built everything.
Slaves did not build. They was laborers. That's all they did. Shovels and picks.
Who's building the ballroom?
When you talk about building, you got to have architects and engineers. They didn't have that, Don. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you like it is. They didn't build anything. How the hell are you going to build something here in America that you didn't have back home, and you still, in many cases, don't even have it today in 2026?
We built the White House.
They ain't built no damn White House.
Yes, we did.
Who's the architect?
No, the architect partially was the president.
I see a picture of the White House being built, and one of the lifting mechanisms was a stiff leg derrick. Africans didn't know how to use no stiff leg derricks.
Yes, they did when they learned.
They did not. Where did they learn that at?
They taught them.
It's all bull crap.
Yep. They taught them how to use everything.
They turned the damn thing over.
We're ready to say.
If Africans were so damn smart and ingenious, why did tribes get rid of them?
Because they were smart and genius. Nobody wants smart and genius black men around. That's what is the whole problem. If
they were so useful, why did the tribes get rid of them?
Nigerians are some of the smartest people in the world. Kenyans are smart.
Nigerians are getting rid of them damn Edens too.
Yeah, that's because they're smart. You know,
No bull crap. Get out of here with this.
All the smart black people are on the Timberwolves.
look at all the doctors who are black. You got doctors from all over the world.
Yeah, they come from Nigeria. They don't come from the United States.
Yeah, well, so do all these other idiots that come over to the United States. They should send them back to where they come from.
And they don't stay around blacks. Americans.
That's what, if they don't want black.
I don't blame them.
If they don't
Not all of them, but a whole lot of them ain't worth a damn, man. We gotta admit that.
if they want, hey, the meat shall inherit the earth. And they're the
Okay, Don, do you want me to look up the stats of black doctors?
Go ahead.
Okay, what? Go ahead, John.
Thomas Jefferson had jungle fever.
Thomas Jefferson was one of the ones who helped build the fucking White House. With all
Sally Hemings, he got it on a lot.
I think she had, 12 kids? Something like that, 9, 12 kids.
Oh,
Yeah, they got a lot of it too.
What does that have to do with doctors?
well, he was president of the United States.
Doctors that you gonna look up are African doctors who are in the country coming from other places.
Okay,
Americans don't.
go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say black doctors in America are not produced like that.
You're
They
right.
don't have education, James.
Here's how it goes, you guys. Here's how it goes. White doctors are 56%, Asians are 19%, almost 20. Hispanic doctors are 6.5%, black doctors are 5.2, and multiracials are 1.4.
And most of those blacks are Nigerians.
Yeah, it doesn't break it down that way.
They do that intentionally.
I got 3 doctors in my family. I don't know what.
What about Dr. J? He was a basketball player.
Your daughter is a lawyer. She ain't a doctor.
No, I have 2 cousins who are surgeons, and one's an optometrist, I believe. So I've got.
My African Liberian nephew is he's becoming an eye doctor now.
There you go. So you're gonna see black doctors looking at all these white patients.
They're not coming out of America, Johnny.
Yes, they are. I got 3 in my family.
No, they're not. Hell, if you got 5%, 40% of the blacks in Harvard are Nigerian, not black Americans.
But the bottom line, I have 3 in my family. They're American. I have 3 doctors.
Well, let's face it, a lot of Russian people cannot be professionals right now due to the war. And so every country has a different elements of what success contains. Do you guys agree?
That's what I said. Every culture has its own class.
I do. I see. I have a lot of black friends up in Duluth. We have a worldwide hospital up here, as well as Rochester, Minnesota. And there are a proportional amount of black people in those positions.
We need more Asian basketball players.
Very funny.
This one teacher was teaching finance in a black school, and she was teaching people how to handle checks, the blacks how to handle checks. So she told them about you have to endorse the back of the check. They didn't know what the hell she was talking about.
I thought you
they
said.
Can't even write in cursive.
I thought you said chicks, not checks.
Checks. How to endorse a check. They didn't know nothing about that. They can't write in cursive.
Okay, here's the deal. I think we should segue into the mayoral race in LA. There's 3 people running against Karen Bass. And one guy is named Jeremy Pratt. Do you know who that is, John?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Method actor. running for LA mayor, and he's doing very well.
Yeah, it's a neck and neck tie with Karen Bass, Jeremy Spratt, and somebody else. I can't. Yeah.
He's a very practical white man running against a black an African American lesbian female mayor who's incompetent. But that's her qualification is she hates Trump, she hates ICE, and she wants open borders. And abortion and trans rights. So as long as that's the criteria for California.
And she was taught in Cuba. She was taught by the communists in Cuba.
That's true.
In other words, she has a good agenda.
She has what liberal progressives are looking for. 25 years or so ago, she was going to Cuba regularly in a program to learn the culture, their government, and she would attribute to Fidel Castro. He's just a great leader, and she really wanted to role model after him. And now she's tried to walk that back because, of course, it's going to bite her in the butt.
They said that LA has a huge deficit, and Nithya Rahman is a progressive city council member who's the third person in the race. Nithya Rahman. Do you know that person, John?
Yeah, they call it like ramen noodles, and they call Pratt is very witty. He's a bit like Trump in his methods. He calls her Karen Basura, which is trash, instead of Karen Bass. And he'll say in his promos 5 different, 20 times, Karen Basura. And but he has some very good. He knows how to use the internet with AI videos, showing them as villains, kind of like Batman theme, the Joker, and he's done some other ones where he just shows LA. He says I'm walking along here, we got dog poop, we got needles, we got homeless tents, and Karen Bass says that we're taking care of the problem. They spent $400 million to help 1,200 homeless people. It's something like, I don't know, $200,000 per person. And her new proposal is to give new teeth for meth addicts. Because she said if you don't have teeth, it's hard to get a job. The problem with that kind of philosophy is their problem is to get off of drugs. You can give them.
Yeah, I have two bosses at Walmart that are missing half their teeth.
Well, she thinks giving the meth addicts teeth it will solve their problem.
That's pretty stupid because if you don't take the right diet and you're doing a drug that makes your gums soft, they're going to fall out anyway.
Right.
So anyway, I wanted to say one more thing. There has been a few more fires in the LA region in the last month.
They drained both of the major reservoirs, including the one right out where Pratt and Adam Carolla and all these other people live. They show it. It's like they drain this. And one thing about Karen, she's very smart. She's a professional liar. She'll just start to dance around the subject and say, well, they used to be full of water millions of years ago, but now we drain them because it's not for fires, it's for
I know a politician who's a liar, and he skipped his son's funeral to rant on Truth Social.
She just loves, she will avoid answering any question. She's really good at it, and she sounds very well informed, but the point is she really doesn't care about LA. All she's promoting is anti-Trump, anti-ICE, anti-immigration. That's pro-women's rights, pro-gay. So that's very popular in LA. That's it doesn't matter about the safety, about police, about kids' education, or housing. Doesn't matter at all.
Okay, I would like to backpedal 1 minute. So we have a number of races in America that are somebody's phone is on speaker and it's crackling up the wazoo. So there's a lot of critical races coming up for the primaries. It appears that James Tallarico in Texas has a stronghold, a chance to win. Then we have the Minnesota Senate seat for Tina Smith is wide open. She's not reapplying. And if Amy Klobuchar wins the governorship, then her Senate seat's going to be vacated. And then around the rest of the country, there's been some very tight races. I know there was one runoff race in which one of Trump's people won. And so it may not be all anti-Trump this November. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the upcoming year?
Trump's had about 119 endorsements, and all of them have won. I think there's been a couple Rhino people that were hovering, but he's on a roll. His last 6 endorsements have won, and there are his replacements. Crockett is out. Kane is out.
What do you mean Crockett's out? It's not even November yet.
No, she tried to run for Senate and she failed. So I think she's working for a law firm right now. She kind of had to,
I thought she was a congresswoman.
She was, but she's out of Congress now. She lost her bid. I mean, she might be serving out her term, but she's out. Pelosi's going to be out. Nadler's going to be out. There's another one too. So there's going to be some turnover in the Democratic Party.
Who's Emmer again? I forgot.
Who?
Emmer?
Jerry Nadler.
I thought you said Emmer.
Yeah, no, he's a guy who looks like the Penguin, kind of round belly and old guy.
Okay, I remembered another one. Tom Evers in Wisconsin, the governor, he's vacating his governor's seat, so that's a wide open race too.
And I have the redistricting, which, at first it looked like the Democrats are going to really switch it around. It's going to be kind of tit for tat, but they lost one appeal. I think it's going to Supreme Court. Does anyone know where that's going?
Which one?
Supreme Court has already ruled on that. You cannot create an all-black voting district.
Well, there's major states that are fighting those territorial grounds. One of them's Georgia. There's another East Coast state, like it's not South Carolina, it's something like that. And then both sides are fighting terribly to have fairness. I think Virginia's one.
It seems like they should have a neutral system and stop messing around with it. Like either side, Republican or Democrat. It's like there should be like a neutral system instead of, Republicans want to make 10 out of 11 districts their way and Democrats the same way. To me, that's not what it's about. I don't.
I'm very confused about that because, you look at somewhere like St. Louis County is a huge county in Minnesota. It's over 150 miles one way. And San Bernardino County is the largest county in California. How much rewiring can they do? I mean, you can't treat it like a bad crochet pattern. I mean, how much weaving can they do to make it to their advantage?
They come down, and they weave in and out of county and capture the black household. That's what they're doing. Then you go to New York when blacks are retiring, you got welcoming organizations that's up there having meetings at the churches, and they're steering blacks into these black voting districts in the South. And when you get enough population, they're divided again and create another district, a black district, within that black district. That's what the plans are.
Racism, 100%.
What percent of American blacks actually vote? I'm gonna look it up.
I think it's like 52% or something like that.
Okay.
In a general way.
Okay.
Black vote is becoming irrelevant.
It's not just black voters, it's young kids too. A lot of Gen Z's don't vote either. Gen Z's don't vote.
Like Atlanta, Georgia. There's only a couple cities where, major cities where it's significant. The rest, it's 13% of the population. Unless you go into the deep south.
Actually, you get down to about 20 million that's eligible to vote. That's about what it is. That's what it was during Obama. And of those 20, about 11 million voted.
God damn it. My screens keep jumping.
You're hacked.
No, I called Microsoft and they fixed it. They even gave me Windows 11.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm gonna do it on my phone. They did. I spent 20 minutes on the phone with a guy probably from Sri Lanka, and he fixed it.
All right, bottom line, and they fixed.
Well, we fixed the dog, but it didn't make him happy.
How much they charge you, Jane?
Nothing. Because if you have Microsoft on your computer, they have to help you.
Wow.
I was
what you paid for.
I was hacked. I clicked on something accidentally on the top of my Yahoo email, and they said that they've been having problems with Yahoo getting hacked. So John, you're on Yahoo a lot, so be careful.
Oh, I think I shall. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm finding the stats. Hold on. What percent of American blacks vote? Now they just gave me a giant pie chart. 58% vote, 44% from 18 to 24, 61% from 25 to 44, 64% from 45 to 64, and 45% between 65 and older. So that's not bad. I think Obama helped it back in 2008. It's not as bad as some groups, right?
I guess. I don't know. All I know is that we are trying to fix a system that is broken, and we can't fix it.
No shit.
Would you vote for Trump if he gave you reparations, Don?
Yeah, then we can fix it. That's the whole point. Blacks don't feel like they're part of America. That's why they wear the pants down.
You really believe that?
That's why there's BMI people or whatever they're called, BHI. Black Hebrew Israelites who think that God's going to come down and make them some kind of part of the prophecy.
Yeah, the meek shall inherit the earth. That's what I'm talking about.
We love black people.
Well, Don, you're not meek, so you better get your shit straight.
No, but I'm the leader. I'm one of the main.
Oh, No, you're not. You're not a Catholic. You're not BHI, and you don't go to church.
So, what's I got?
You have to be a member of a religious organization to get your stripes in heaven.
Caitlin Clark is an oppressed minority. They beat her worse than a plantation slave. I'm telling you.
Absolutely right.
They're not doing it this year. They did it last year.
That's why
Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the WNBA.
Jen got me hooked on it. Me and my brother watch her games almost every one of them. And when she's not playing, it's like, we're not going to watch. It's just all it is black players.
Yeah, but Asia Wilson is technically the best player in the WNBA.
Possibly.
And there's a girl from Minnesota, the Lynx, called Nafrisa Collins or something like that. She won the MVP last year.
But every once in a while, those gals, like for half a game, they're really good. I mean, they're shooting long shots, great plays, and then the other time they look like a junior high, kids like that. My brother, we were laughing, crying because they would run down the court and then they dribble it off their leg, and then the next person grab it, they'd miss a layup because they can't dunk.
I just wanted to say, John, white or black, the Indiana Fever is off the charts. There's two blacks on the team that are off the charts. One is Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, and Caitlin Clark.
Boston's good.
Caitlin Clark passes to them all the time, and the white girl Sophie Cunningham is good. There's no bad players on the Fever. Not a
I
one.
watch it just to see if Sophie Cunningham is going to enforce and knock down one of those players who attacks Caitlin.
I know she's a hard ass.
She's pretty cute too.
I know, and on one video podcast she said I don't date men, but I don't think she's gay, so I don't know what she is.
Ooh,
Caitlin has a boyfriend.
Caitlin has a boyfriend.
I'm talking about Sophie Cunningham. She said that she doesn't date men, and I don't think she's gay. I don't know.
That's right. Most of them are.
She has long blonde hair. She's skinny, and she's super skinny, and she's not curvy. However,
How were the ratings this year, though? Because the last year was a lot higher. Have they had a drop?
no, the Indiana Fever sell out every home game possible. So
Wow, that's nice.
and it's not just the Fever. A lot of teams are selling out really, really good.
Well, that's good because, from what I understand, it's been like 25 years of the league or something like that, and they've lost every year. Like
No,
millions.
30. It's the league has been around 30 years, and they're doing well. They're doing well.
At least the top couple teams. I think the league loses money every year.
Do you want me to look up how much ticket sales are?
We should, because I want to know if I'm wasting my time watching.
Well,
it.
I do know that they must be doing better because Sophie Cunningham's pulling in 600. She's pulling in 665,000. That's how much Indiana paid to keep her, and Caitlin takes in millions. Caitlin takes in millions with endorsements.
That's where they make the money. Like Jordan. Jordan made 10 times his money in endorsements.
Okay, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna look up ticket sales. Okay.
Okay. If they could ever find a girl that can dunk, they actually would have great ratings.
Yep.
Or they could lower the rim for the girls. How about that?
No, they're not gonna do stupid stuff like that. So who is that big player on the San Antonio Spurs that's so like 7'4"?
He's my hero, Wembyama.
Yeah, they beat my poor little Timberwolves.
He's from France, and his mother is white. She's about 6'3".
Did you know Minnesota has the tallest family in the world? They range from 6'9" to 7'3".
Is that from the Norseman?
The daughter Savannah went to UCLA to play. She's 6'9". Her sister's 6'8". Her brother's 7'2". He played for North Dakota, and her parents are hovering around 6'8", and the dad's 7'1".
Wow.
I can send you a picture, John.
I love it.
I'm still finding the stats. You're right, Don. I was hacked.
Yeah.
Because every time I try to type something on Microsoft, it goes goofy. Okay, they keep bringing up the player stats. I'll tell you guys next week what it is. Maybe one of you guys could Google it.
Oh, yeah.
So the prices range from $20 to $50, which means most people can afford it.
Yeah.
So what's that guy's name from France who beat up?
Yeah, Victor Wembanyama.
And don't they call?
He's spectacular.
They call him Wemby or Wembley.
Right, Wemby.
Yeah.
And he can shoot from half court. He's making shots from 50 feet in. He can drive, he can pass, he can rebound, he can block, he can dribble like a guard. He has technically no flaws in his game outside of, and the only thing that can stop him is an injury or not having enough teammates. Like he's basically playing 1-on-5 half the time. He's got a decent team, don't get me wrong, but you can't beat five tough guys, which is why he's having a problem with Oklahoma. OKC is. They got a very balanced team, but they're not as exciting as Wemby. Wemby's he's amazing. They throw it up in the air and he just slams it with one hand. He drives. He's like Kobe or Jordan, and from half court he shoots it and he makes it like a guard. He's just amazing, and he's humble.
And he also had a technical against Naz Reid.
The problem with these guys, they're very tall. So when people punch them, they either punch him in the stomach, right? Like he gets hit all the time. They're always clawing on him, or he's tall enough they can't get the face that much. But the point is, when he turns around, if he's mad and swings his elbow, it's right in their face. So that's part of the problem. If it was when he does it on purpose. Well, it's true, but he got knocked around before them. But the issue is, if he was the same size as them and he swung his elbow, it would have, hit the guy in the gut, and they would have said, it wouldn't have been as so noticeable. But the thing is, with LeBron, you just look at him and he falls over and he'll grab his elbow. If you hit him in the knee, he grabs his head and it rolls over.
Well, isn't he like 42 years old now?
Yeah, 41. He should retire, or what I would do with LeBron, I would just say, give me a couple $100,000, spend like 10 or whatever million they spend, get a good number 2 player, and be number 3. So the problem is LeBron wants to be the guy with big money. If he wins another ring, he'll tie Jordan. He'll make buku bucks. Just be humble. He makes so much more money in endorsements. He doesn't need money for basketball. He needs a ring. That's my opinion.
I have the statistics now. It popped up. So the Golden State Valkyries have an average attendance of 18,000. The Fever and the New York Liberty have an average of 15,000. The next team down has an average of 13,000. And I have to look up one more. Just a second. The Dallas Wings only have an average of 6,000 a game. And the Portland Fire is way up there they have ticket sales of 14,000, but no one ever talks about them. No one talks about Portland Fire.
They're new.
They are?
Yes.
Well, they have 6,000 a game. 13,000. And the Dallas Wings that has Paige Bruckers only has 6,000 a game. But you have to think of the state and the population. Like the Golden State Valkyries have the highest attendance.
Could they allow a trans man to play in the league and destroy them?
No. I'd like to see you, John, in a back alley with some of those tougher players.
20 years ago, I might have had a shot. These girls are really good. They are very good. And they're at least, my height. There's just some maybe 5'3s. But they would, I have a bad ankle, and I can run with them, but not competitively. So they would quite clock me. At 20, I could put up some numbers, but the tall people, you can't be tall. If someone's 6'4", and you're 5'6", they're pretty good. But you put a 6-foot guy on them, it's not. They can
well, you know what? Like Lexi Hall, she plays for Indiana. She has a science degree from the most prominent university in California, Stanford.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's a scientist or something like that, and she could easily quit her career and do something else.
Scientists don't make nobody.
I can't remember what it was, but she has a high-end degree. But anyways, I'm sure Bianca is kind of getting bored with this topic. So
Scientists don't make no money.
okay, well I have to look it up now. What does Lexi Hall do for? What is her degree in? Hold on. All right, you guys keep talking while I look.
Well, they just had the steroid Olympics a couple days ago, and most of them were
Bullshit.
former athletes, former Olympians, and there were like 6 or 7 categories. If you won, it was like $250,000. If you beat a world record, you get $1 million. And so,
Is
in
this
the
true?
major events, only one person broke a major record. The other ones they didn't, but almost all these athletes, most of them retired, like 6-7 years. All of them pretty much broke their own personal records being on steroids. So it's an interesting thing if they will, if they'll cross over, because what they're saying is just they call it the enhanced Olympics. So they're trying to make it where like all athletes should be able to
Remember
enhance
Lance
themselves.
Armstrong, who won all those French Open races?
Yes.
He went down in shame. Lexi Hall has a master in engineering and a bachelor's in science. So she has a master's in engineering.
And she
Pianke.
majored in homemaking.
No, she's engaged and she's sticking with her career until she starts getting old.
She is majoring in homemaking. She's just learning.
Okay, I have one last topic to cover tonight. What do you guys think of Donald Trump's late night rant on social media where he's trying to tear down Barack Obama every night still, after all these years?
You don't get it. He's a big bitch. And that's what they do. They always bring up the past, always worried about if they have enough of it, whether it's a ballroom or a UFC fight in the middle of the White House. That's just really ridiculous. And Trump people are just idiots.
Don, it's not they, it's Donald Trump doing it.
We don't deserve him as the president.
They're accessories. These people, if you don't stop it, then you're an accessory.
We don't deserve him, Don. Well, here's a question. He's annoying to some. He's obnoxious to some. But the question
He's an idiot. You don't get it. He was laughing.
He turned himself into Jesus.
You're looking at rhetoric. You're looking at it appeals to you.
9-4.
John, take your call. John, take your phone off speaker. It's too loud.
Whatever.
Think about the 10 things that matter. To me, the border, that's major and important. People just running across their border. You don't think that's an issue. Every other country thinks it's an issue. Foreigners running to a country, especially terrorists. Now, the other issue is Venezuela, Cuba, which is 90 miles off our coast. Like, that is our biggest threats. Mexico, Iran, terrorism. So what does he do? He knocks out the Ayatollah. He arrests Maduro. He's choking out Cuba. Like, what more could I ask for?
John, I'm not talking about what he does. I'm talking about his imagery on Truth Social where he's dropping he's dropping feces on political podcasters like Harry Sisson.
To be a Boy Scout, I hired him to get the job.
I know, I'm just saying that he has AI images of him dropping poop.
That's what I want.
You gotta remember though, he's behind the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, and they're the #1 domestic terrorist groups in America.
Yup.
Do you really see Trump running around with Proud Boys? That's like old. When you see him at the White House, doesn't have those guys running around. Not at all.
I know, we all want Obama to save us, but he can't. He's in his
How many pictures do you have Donald Trump with Proud Boys? At the White House, how many places do you see, the Proud Boys show up? They're not. They're like as free.
He took Obama's portrait down.
It's like saying that Obama, in endorses all the what do you call it, the Antifa. Those are fringe groups that are just radical.
Okay, John, why did Trump take down Barack Obama's presidential portrait?
Because he loves to troll people. He loves to annoy them, and he amuses those who are for him. People get tired of getting knocked down, and they love it when someone stands up to someone.
Okay, so why did he turn himself into Jesus and then tell the whole world that he thought he was a Red Cross worker?
For many, he is like a Messiah. They called Barry Obama, the Black Jesus, the Savior. They had him on Time magazine.
But Barry Obama acts like Jesus. Donald Trump acts like Satan.
Well, you weren't offended when they called him a Messiah.
He comes from that's where Dracula comes from.
They had Barack Obama in the Last Supper paintings also.
Yeah, nobody cared.
Okay, I want to know something. Don, I want to know what your wife thinks of these late night rants.
She ain't fucking these motherfuckers. Are you kidding me? This is only esoteric things for people with intelligence. And everybody else, they don't give a fuck about what we're talking about.
Probably stupid. Like, don't you care about $10 billion or more of fraud in Minnesota? Isn't that a big issue?
No, I want to break that down. There was $90 million. There was $90 million in fraud, and only 25% was the food COVID program 3 years ago. So let's not pigeonhole all the Somalians. And the head of the COVID food scandal was a white woman, and she just got sentenced to 40 years in jail or prison.
They don't investigate fraud unless it's over $1.5 million. Think about that. If I steal $100 from the bank, I have a felony. I go in for 20 years. These people are ripping off over $1 million, and it's not even investigated. Well,
you want to hear the worst part? Who impounded all that money and nobody noticed? Like, they had to be pretty slick.
Well, if it's Minnesota, Tim Waltz is like, I'm on top of it. And
he had nothing to do with it. It was a federal program that they ripped off. He had nothing to.
And a white lady did it. A white piece of shit did it. Her Pat wants to say what she thinks about the Trump rants.
Okay, go ahead, Pat.
You think Ilhan Omar is white?
John, let Pat talk.
For real people in the real world, nobody watches that stuff. And little small, I'm acting like Don now, little small-minded people watch this stuff at late night for Trump. But people that are really thinking, really are trying to do things behind the doors to get this man out of office. Like we're trying to sue, we're trying to keep things in court, trying to make sure that legally we can do something, okay? Because he's changing things constitutionally. And at one point, Trump used to be a constitutionalist. Now he could care less about the Constitution. So real people don't really care about what this crap is happening on late night. I mean, yeah, every now and again I'll turn on it. I usually get my news. I read it. I don't watch TV a lot, and I certainly don't watch that stuff because at 11, 12 o'clock at night, I'm going to bed because I got to get up in the morning. I got real stuff to do. I'm trying to help people in the community to survive. I'm trying to make a difference in society by being a person that actually, if you truly believe in God and all these other different things that people claim that they believe in, then you do unto your brother as you have them do unto you, right? Which means that you're out loving your neighbor and trying to help people. And that's what I do. I mean, I'm blessed enough that I can give back to my community. And that's what we try to do. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what John tries to do. We try to give back. But all this hatred that people are spewing, you got an individual that's on this show that spews hatred. I can't buy into that. If you are supposedly a person that believes in any type of higher power, You don't have time for this miscellaneous garbage that people are slinging. The same thing if you're thinking about even talking about Trump, right? If he's supposed to be a God-fearing people and his people that are the Republicans, if they're supposed to be loving God, all this stuff that they're talking about, they don't practice what they preach, or they don't practice it at all.
I have a question, Pat, though. I have a question, Pat.
How he's changing the Constitution.
Excuse me?
I want to know how he's changing the Constitution. There's only one way to change the Constitution. That's through Article 5.
Okay, he's spending money on a war that's he not authorized. Go ahead, Pat.
He has not started no war. He has not started a war. Only Congress can declare war. Correct.
He doesn't care about Congress. Okay, I would like to ask Pat something before she hangs up. Harry.
It's not about what he cares. When people say he started a war, that's a lie.
He is breaking the rules of government. He closed. He closed four. I am. Let me talk. Before I talk, though, I'm going to tell Pat one thing. There's a podcaster from Columbia University who repeats what Trump does on Truth Social every night, and I pay attention. That's how I know. But what Trump has done in the last year is he eliminated the executive independent authority for the executive branch. He tried to take over the agency that deals with interest rates. He appointed himself as the primary board member of.
Stop right there. Stop right there. You say he tried to. That means
no, he didn't try. He did. He did it.
He did not remove. He did not take over the Federal Reserve.
He didn't take it over. He tried to fire the guy who'd been there 20 years.
How you backtracking?
You're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish. So I would like to say there was an executive agency that oversaw the executive branch. It was established during the Watergate years. He eliminated that executive agency. Eliminated it. Then
executive agency was not contrived through a constitutional amendment.
Yes, it was.
That the House agreed upon at the time. They can change their mind whenever they get ready.
Okay, well, he's done a lot of illegal stuff.
I did have a question for Pat.
He's misappropriated funding. He's broken rules, and I'm going to let Pat talk.
I wanted to ask Pat a question, though, if she could address it, and in a calm way. We're not trying to blow, people up. Just you're practicing Catholic, correct?
Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time. So the question is, when you talk about, Donald Trump is not very moral, how do you support a party that endorses abortion, that endorses trans, gay, lesbian, homosexuality, and also men competing against women in sports? Isn't that, a 100% contradiction of Scripture? It's like it's incompatible, isn't it?
Well, I believe in free will. Okay, so yes, I'm somewhat of a practicing Catholic. I don't agree with all their doctrine, and so my approach to Catholicism is a holistic approach, which a lot of Catholics are kind of sort of doing right, in terms of if you believe. And Scripture is one thing. That's a whole nother conversation, which I won't even get into. But if you truly believe in God, God is everything, right? Everywhere, and we are God. We are vessels of that entity as well. So God sees everything. So who are we? I'm like Tupac. Only if you truly believe that, only God can judge you, right? So we as mortal people, we can't judge anything. Only God can do that. Now, when we talk about Scripture and all these other things, that's a whole nother conversation, which a whole nother show to talk about. I just don't believe in all of the biblical stuff in terms of canon law. All these things are created by supposedly interpreted down to man. And once they put their hand into anything, stuff goes awry. But if you truly believe in God, God created everything, right? So if God didn't like having transsexuals, if He didn't like having all, gay people, LGBTQ plus, I mean, this stuff has been, these entities, these people have been around since the dawn of time. This is nothing new. It's just now people are really coming out and talking about it. And we covered it up. It's been covered up for forever. But if you truly believe in it, then God is everything, right? Everything. And they're part of this too. This is just not something that we made up in our head. Or maybe
I got a question. I found no evidence of transsexuals existing in ancient times. Now people say, well, these people have been around forever. No, show me where.
Well, they have.
They have.
It's always be will.
One of the kings of England was gay, and he died young in life.
A couple things to consider. One is that all the points I mentioned are things that Trump actually endorses. He's against abortion, although he thinks it's a state issue. He's for women's rights and not be competed against by men. He's against, detransing our children in the school. I mean, that's a serious thing. Promoting that, interfering with it, and again, killing babies in the womb. An interesting point to what you mentioned, because this is something I've had to reconcile. Because we have the Jesus thing of like turn the other cheek, give if someone asks you, which is kind of gets in that border thing. If people want to just come and live in our country, we just got to give them whatever they want.
No, I don't believe in that either.
Here's how I kind of balance it. Jesus came to bring a spiritual kingdom. But he said, my kingdom's not of this earth. He's talking about what's going to be heaven when it comes down on earth, New Jerusalem. And there's these concepts, no more murder, no more lying, no more stealing, no more cheating. That will be in the future kingdom. But on this earth, it's still the Old Testament law. The Jews live by this, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. If I steal from you, I get arrested. You're not going to turn the other cheek. We can't have a society of laws and citizens rule, that's what it means, to just forgive. The Ten Commandments, the Old Testament law, it still applies. I think you would believe that. No lying, no stealing, no fornication, no killing, no murder.
Can we back to...
And I never said that, bathrooms, for both folks and everybody goes, there's certain things that that person that's in office does that are absolutely correct. I mean, logically speaking, women and men are different. I mean, we totally are. So do I want to come out of the bathroom at a school as a kid next to a guy coming out of a bathroom playing with his junk? Hell no. I don't want to do that in today's society. Okay, so no. Do I believe after a certain point in terms of abortion, we shouldn't do it, but I feel if that's a person's choice if they want to do it, so I'm pretty sure.
I think that it comes down to, should we legislate morality? It comes down to, should Americans who don't disagree with something be able to legislate morality?
No, Americans can't legislate morality. The thing is that the United States Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It is what's called absolute.
Okay, I'm glad you feel that way, Bianchi. But when Pat hangs up, I have a list of 10 things that Trump has violated the law on.
Well, Trump is like this, right? He'll throw all this stuff out there to see if it sticks on the wall. See if people are paying attention. If they're not paying attention, then hey, guess what? It happens. Okay, but if folks pay attention, then they'll, look at it and say, hey, we're not. It's not a constitutional thing or whatever.
The thing about it, we forget how things were when Biden was in office. I was censored, shadow banned. I had videos, 250,000. My bro had 500,000 views. He crossed the line. You couldn't mention Fauci. You couldn't say vaccine. You couldn't say Trump. You couldn't say MAGA. Nothing like that. He get views knocked down to 50,000 overnight. Wiped out.
It wasn't Biden. It was YouTube.
If he say the wrong word within 30 seconds, it would pop up. You would violate our community standards. What happened to free speech? You can't say someone killed someone took a gun. You have to say they unalived. You have to say they SA'd. You can't say the word rape.
John, because of you, I got 5 coronavirus shows kicked off of YouTube because of your belief system.
Like, what happened to freedom of speech? It wasn't like I was saying burn down people, kill people. We were just mentioning facts of what happened. You know, a 6-year-old got raped by, anyone. You know, and it'd be like you violate our community standards. Like that was America. Now under Trump, it's opened up a bit, but I still have to be careful. I'm just telling you, we lived in a time, 3 years ago where you couldn't go to church. You had to wear a mask. You didn't have your papers. You couldn't go to the gym. You were literally, all the law enforcement, the military, medical personnel were fired if they didn't get the shot. And there was no restitution to them. We were in Nazi Germany. I don't know if we remember that when Trump came back, that changed. People aren't wearing their masks. You don't have to take a shot. You can work wherever you want.
Yeah, but John,
I don't know. But didn't COVID happen when Trump was in office?
It happened leading up to the in 2020.
it started at the end of 2019. The first month it hit America was January 2021.
What you protest because it's their platform. You can't go into a public school and say anything you want to. The high school newspaper cannot print anything it wants to. The college newspaper can't print anything it wants to. Now, if you're out in the domain of the public, yes, you can. But you're in their house, and you got to abide by their rules.
All right.
I have a very interesting point because.
But Pat brought up a better point that Fauci and all the rules for COVID and the health administration, all the presidents, they didn't have full control over that. The health department did.
They're investigating him, but they can't prosecute him because Biden gave a blanket, unheard of, a blanket like forever for all these people, a whole bunch of them, not even for what they've done, but just anything that they might have done. And the point is, he was director of NIH.
Well, people were dying.
He sent the original research, the bat research, to Wuhan. He sent that there, and for the first 3 years, we couldn't talk about it because we would get blocked off of Facebook, off of Twitter, off of all these different platforms. YouTube. I know because I got destroyed. People were demonetized. Their careers were wiped.
Well, now there's people like Larry Ellison who own TikTok. So I'm gonna mute everybody for 30 seconds and list everything that Trump did wrong. He reinstated TikTok after Congress banned it, and he claimed that it was because of him that TikTok got reinstated. He withheld federal funding for stuff that government already approved, and that included due process for ICE violations, pre-approved. Nobody can talk. Nobody can talk while I'm talking. I'm talking for 30 seconds. So he froze government funding that was already approved by Congress. He froze it, and he didn't release money to U.S. aid. 100,000 people died in the first month, and he froze it. He also cut federal funding for NPR, which was already pre-approved by Congress. He impounded funds that was issued for housing, and he tried to redirect it to other agencies. And he withheld government-approved funds in other areas. And he eliminated 3 major boards for the executive branch, and he tried to toy with other committees. Go ahead.
As being the executive as designated by the Constitution, he had the right to do all of that.
I disagree. You can endorse it, but I don't.
His authority comes from the Constitution. He's one of the 3 branches: the judicial, You got the legislature and you got the executive. He is the executive. If you see where things are not going right, when you see that you're funding anti-American rhetoric, when you see that you're supplying money to money should go to American companies, not foreigners.
All right, first of all, the thing is the Watergate safeguards were in place since 1974. He has to look at the big picture.
That's criminal. Show me in the Constitution.
It's not criminal.
What you said.
I wrote a paper on it. I wrote a
Show
paper
me
on
in
it.
the Constitution where the things you said that he broke ever existed. It does not exist.
He is not a constitutionalist. He's a power-hungry idiot.
Well, now because of the Constitution, you can say that.
You're darn straight.
I think he's an ass-kicking president, and I am a natural-born black United States citizen, and I support him and would vote for him again.
And he also constantly lies. He lies his way up the wazoo.
Well, Jane, do you feel America, in our country, do you feel safer that 3 million people a year that we don't vet aren't walking into our country? Do you feel safer that Maduro isn't running Venezuela, or that Iran, eventually, all the chaos they're doing now, and they don't have, their Air Force or Navy, all this stuff. Imagine what they would do with 60% enriched uranium in 2 or 3 years with nukes. And the reason I mention this is because we don't understand their philosophy. In Islam, there are the Sunnis, and then there are.
We're not talking about Islam.
This is true because this is very important. This is what every.
Okay, listen. I do not feel safer because I think Trump has a very biased opinion of the world, and I think that Trump spreads hate.
We never discussed this. The Sunni is 85%. Shia.
I'm not talking about Muslims. I'm talking about Trump spreading hatred.
Shiites, which Iran is, believe that they have to bring about the end of the world, apocalypse, and that the 12th Mahdi, their Messiah, will come.
Well, I think that we're bringing. The United States is bringing the end of the world. I'm cutting out of the show. You guys can talk for 10 more minutes.
No, we're talking. This is very.
No, I don't. I'm talking about Trump. Trump has ruined the world. He tries to bully himself in the Strait of Hormuz. He asked the president of France.
Iran's philosophy, the people who run it, they're Shia. They believe they don't care what Trump's doing right now.
Who cares about them?
Kill every Iranian. The Mahdi will save them. And you want these people to have nuke capability? We have to level them, basically.
No, I think
we're gonna go over there and kill people on ifs and maybes. What if they didn't do it? I mean, are we gonna be the country that's just we want new world order where we just go and kill everybody because they have a thought? Have we
ain't killed
all this stuff?
The regime the regime.
Do I feel safer because Trump is in office? Hell no, I don't feel safer.
Let me say this. The people in Iran.
If you want to, this is no way to have.
Oh hell, you can't hog the damn program.
Well, you're hogging the program. I just got it.
No, I'm not. I'm listening to what Jane said while she was talking over God.
They go 2 minutes each, right? Just go for 2 minutes each. Okay, so go ahead, PRK, and then go ahead, Patricia.
How many Iranians was killed under that regime? It's not even a government. The Iranians cannot run their own country. They can't form a government. They are unarmed people. They're just like sheep. You see millions of them come out in the street and advertise. They come out and march, and they pro-America and they pro-Trump, just like they are down in Venezuela.
Right. Or Gaza.
Just remember, I'm the I'm the Fauci of this radio show, and you guys can go off speaker at any time.
Oh, so what does Patricia think for the next 2 minutes without being interrupted?
Okay,
She's going to make my dinner. Like a woman.
politely speaking, we spent all our military budget on a 2-month war that we didn't even win. Go chew on that one for 5 minutes. Then Trump tried to take housing money away from Massachusetts so he could spend more money on war, and the highest court in Massachusetts told him to kiss off. You're not getting the money.
Well, the highest court in Massachusetts is wrong because he has a right to do things that's for the welfare of the country.
He
It's
can't
not a
steal
war.
money from.
Congress never did. Well, Jay, look, bye.
Bye. He can't steal money from other states. That's already earmarked.
I like you expressing your views, so let me just take 2 minutes here. The fact is, I do feel safer. Iran doesn't have their Navy. They don't have their Air Force. All they have is some rogue, dissident, disconnected people. How are they going to come over, attack us? They can't launch. They can't, send planes over here. They can't. They don't have nuclear capability.
Because that's war.
Well,
You know what?
They did have a.
You're scared. You're scared.
There's money hit.
And that's the problem.
There's arsenal hidden in caves in Iran that they haven't even used.
So don't you think we're safer now with them being so crippled compared to even 5 months ago?
As a Christian, I don't believe in taking out another country that wasn't attacking us. They weren't attacking us. They were taken out.
Well, you underestimate their ideology. They don't mind dropping a nuclear bomb if they can do it. They have no hesitation. North Korea would think about it. China, Russia, they think about the.
So they haven't done it though, but Trump has been very aggressive around the world. The French president said that Trump lost the war in Iran to a B-rated country, and now he has egg in his face.
So if Iran killed Trump and his second in command, JD, and they wiped out our Air Force, our Navy, and blockaded everything we can't get out, you'd say they lost? I would say that's a terrible. I would say we would get humiliated.
I don't
But
consider.
you feel safe. You feel safe with that. That's fine.
I don't
feel
think
safer
Trump
the
is
way
a
it now.
legitimate president. So, I would not be sad if he got taken out.
I just think there's a problem. I think it's just because Donald Trump did it, you can't accept that. When he has a win, you just can't say that's a good thing.
It's not a win.
Just because Trump did
Like
it.
Pat said,
The man is the most immoral person on earth. His best friend was Jeffrey Epstein. He's with him all the time. I was, as I said, in my history, I was working for the LA Times and taking care of his accounts when his account manager went on vacations. He had more, and this is New York. This wasn't even LA. I'm in LA and I hear all of this stuff about lawsuits. He's had more lawsuits. He's the smartest man because he takes advantage of the IRS laws and he rips people off. He's not supposed to be having any kind of currency with his name or on it. He's got Trump coin and who knows what. So these
how can he be the most immoral?
Illegal.
How can he be the most immoral person if he broke with Epstein? Listen to me. If Hollywood hates him and hung out with Epstein and MIT and Harvard and the Royals and everyone after the 2008, after he was arrested, they hung out with him. Trump had nothing to do with them after 2006. He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. His administration arrested Epstein. How can you say that he's more immoral than Hollywood and Washington, D.C.?
Okay.
I mean, just from a logical argument.
He's a part of it. He's a part of Hollywood and Washington, D.C. And New
Who's the
York.
only one to release Epstein files? Didn't Obama? Did they release anything on Epstein? Did they arrest him under their administration?
Of course not, because he was.
Of course not. So much more immoral.
He was being doggone protected by the biggest names in the world.
I have a
Who's
question.
more immoral, the guy who arrested and released the files, or the people who did arrest him and who have never done anything to release the files? Do you see your logic?
I have a
No,
question.
I'm not talking about a man who's been indicted. He's been he's the biggest felon since Al Capone. He's
Right, 34 felonies, and those were all for writing bad checks. Really?
No, but it's for he's got rape in there. He's Carol. He's a convicted rapist, John.
Right, a 30-some-year-old case. She didn't report to the police. She has no notes. She knows not what day.
He's a rapist. He's had other rape cases. He takes little children. He fucks little children. He sucks Bill Clinton's dick. He's a pig.
People say that Obama also got blowjobs for drugs. Biden's daughter said
you guys, can I say
Harris doesn't have
something?
sex.
Can I say something?
It's what stands in the court of law. Go ahead.
I'm taking you guys off speaker a minute. Bianchi hung up because I brought up different ways that Donald Trump spent federal money that he wasn't supposed to. He also established the $1 million gold card visa for foreign nationals. He sold Trump phones that people never got. He's running businesses as a president, and he's trying to erect gold statues of himself before he leaves office.
He wants to be on money.
Yeah, he is very corrupt in the sense of self-aggrandizement.
But that's not just it. He's corrupt in general. I mean, all of these, he's making money from all of these stock transactions.
Yeah, and he also has $1 billion from Bitcoin sales.
That's what I'm saying. It's illegal.
So you're saying a man who's been in office 5 years is more corrupt than the system that's been there for the last 60 years, doing all this. You know, the point is the corruption is in Democratic and Republican. It's in Nadler, it's in Pelosi, it's in Feinstein, it's in Swalwell with the Chinese, spies leaking stuff. They're all dirty.
Feinstein is dead, for God's sake.
But the thing,
Dianne Feinstein died.
Feinstein is dirty.
Yeah, and she went to China.
The work of Republicans are private sector. Where do you think all this money is going? All this aid to African aid and everything like that. It's going into the Republican white man's pocket. The white man is the most corrupt piece of shit on the planet.
Well, Kamala spent $2 billion, times more than Trump, or at least 3, right? So you have to look at both sides, Don. You have to be objective.
No, I've said both sides.
Okay.
She died at age 90.
Kamala was black, though. Kamala was black.
No, she's not. She's
Indian.
She's half Indian and she's half Jamaican.
She's Jamaican.
He's black. How can you say that?
Who's black?
The Democratic Party, their base is African American. Obama
So?
was half white.
So?
11 million people. We only have 11 million voting.
Right, but Obama's the key voice of.
So what's wrong with that, John?
Obama's sitting around fucking. He don't give a shit about the Democratic Party right now.
That's not true, Don. He does
Nobody has a leader.
Obama does fundraising for a bunch of different congressmen.
He does it 1 week out of every 3
No,
months.
he doesn't. He did it for Tallarico. He did it for another person in another state. He makes speeches quite a bit.
All the time.
Yeah,
All I know is
Mike has a daily podcast, right? She's constantly.
John, now you have 2 Democrats against 1 Republican yourself. By the way, Bianchi was a baby. He hung up.
He'll come back.
Getting paid by the white man to say this stuff. I don't know how many times you think he's a plant.
I want to get paid by the white man.
You you're not putting yourself in that position.
I keep spending all my money on black people.
Well, the thing is that you were making money, and you gave it up for your.
I spent $400 on orphans last month. A couple owes me, his next payment of he should be like he owes me $14,000. Boo Boo Bear, who's been staying on the couch, he got his first paycheck, $700. He's on the 26th, I'll give you $200. Boo Boo Bear just kind of skipped around here. It's like, hey, Boo Boo Bear, where's He's like, I'm gonna try to get you something in a couple days. I'm like,
well, then you're a dumbass for letting him sleep there.
And he's asking for, I need this $10 for Uber and $20 for this, and it's like, you should have money, Boo Boo Bear. I'm trying to
John,
say,
John, you're a nice person, but you have to put your foot down. And that one guy that John bought a car for a black guy that moved here from another state, and the guy's 6 months behind in payments. There's boundary issues.
Bear is going back to Milwaukee to visit family. So can I give him your address, Jane? You could maybe.
No, I'll blow his brains out if he.
I know a better, more address.
If he comes to my door, I'll send him home.
You have an extra bed in your house, right?
I live 7 hours from Milwaukee. I live in the northern Minnesota.
It's a hop and a skip. He's a brother.
John, I don't want to be I don't want to be Pope Francis when I'm a struggling single parent.
That's what Patricia talked about loving everybody. Trump is
Well, we're not dumb. You're being dumb when you let homeless people live on your couch.
I told him he's gonna have money, but first he's got to hang out at some other couches for a while.
Exactly, and he's ready to do that.
Oh yeah.
He's probably gonna skip town with a second paycheck. Watch me.
He's looking at plane flights from his family to send him back there.
Well, you know what, John? You know what? When he comes home tonight, you keep the door locked and you don't open it till he gives you $100.
He likes Trump. Did you know that?
I don't care.
The thing is that Trump did a lot of things that were good, that were necessary.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, no, I'm not completely against what he did or what he does.
He's good business, though, right? I mean, basically, if you're going to make money, the thing is, I like winners. I don't like competing companies.
He's the last thing from a winner. A winner keeps their mouth shut when they keep their mouth shut even when they are winning.
The thing is that he gave up. No casino goes out of business. Taj Mahal went out of business so he could collect the insurance and the depreciation on his taxes. He's a crook, 100%. And the thing is that people don't understand it. People are, John, you're so blind. I can't believe that you don't wear glasses, the black glasses that Ray Charles.
Well, look at China and Russia. They're not even messing around with us in Iran.
The basic premise for Christianity is treat your neighbor like yourself and love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And Trump vilifies his enemies every night on Truth Social.
Think about it strategically. Think of strategy. He's arming up Japan. He's arming up Taiwan. He's arming up the Philippines. He took out, Venezuela as a threat. He's taking out Cuba as our biggest threat. He wants Greenland. We're putting more bases there so we can attack China or Russia to the top of the. This is like brilliant. It's like no one's in our stratosphere, in our hemisphere, messing with us. Again, you think that's bad? I'm just talking from a merciless gangster mob idea. China's just watching. Russia's not doing nothing. Like under Obama, they would have been like, there will be consequences. China's just like, Daddy, do whatever you're going to do. They rolled out the red carpet for him. So I don't know. I think it's working. It may not be popular. It may be mean. Some people are going to get killed, but a lot more people are going to 60,000 people got killed in Iran, last month or 2 months. We don't care.
John, one thing that I will say in your favor is that Bill Maher did a 10-minute monologue on why Israel should continue to defend themselves. And he did mention the 4 major Islamic countries that persecute others every day. However, Israel is now evacuating part of South Lebanon, and they're still causing tons of upheaval in other people's lives.
Well, don't you think Trump is protecting Israel as a Christian? Isn't
He's not protecting as a Christian, or maybe he thinks he is. I don't mind him helping Israel, but I don't want him to help them militarily anymore.
Well, who does Iran finance? Hezbollah, Hamas, all these.
They're all wiped out. Israel killed everybody.
Gaza, that was a big problem for Israel.
Okay, well now there's 70,000 Gazans dead. There's over 5,000 Lebanese dead. Like Pat said, you can't just keep killing people because they don't agree with you.
Well, that's because the Hamas runs Gaza. They can't control.
They do not, John. That place,
take over, they can't.
that place is a rumble of black pile of dirt.
It's terrible. They should get out of the area. But Israel has warned them, we're going to bomb the section. We got hospitals there where they're hiding these terrorists.
That was a year ago. That was a year ago. It's not the same anymore.
No, it's a mess.
Okay, well, I'm gonna end this. We've been on the air 2 hours, and I want my life back. Plus, I pissed off a host. So my conclusion is no matter what party you're with, everybody is a poor listener. So someone else can make a conclusion.
Wow. I'll make a conclusion.
Go for it.
I'm like Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck about the American public. So he said that, and he also said that he doesn't, care about getting into wars. So I don't know.
He also said he doesn't care about American finances.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you want to piss everyone off. My conclusion is that we need more trans white men. We need more trans white men in the WNBA. No, actually, my point is that no matter what, we're going to have another 2.5 years of Trump, and after that, people will vote another way probably, and then we're going to have to deal with more problems. I just want to see Cuba out of the way, no matter who's there.
Why pick on Cuba? They've been sanctioned for over 10 years. Their country's in shambles. What threat are they to us?
They're 90 miles away.
So what? They don't have
San
any.
Francisco is 3 times farther away from LA. That is so dangerous. So I mean, you're thinking like a citizen. I'm talking military.
They can't do nothing. They don't have parts for cars. They're driving around 1965 Chevys. They don't got shit.
And how much do you think it takes for China, who's loading up Venezuela with the Belt and Road, or Russia to supply them with weapons? They could do incredible damage. We're talking like just, one little flip of the switch to hit us. So, yeah, I want all this area secure. Now, that's me. You don't care if people...
It's not like I don't care, but Russia's too busy killing all the Ukrainians.
Well, that other situation, it's Russian on Russian, basically. But with Ukraine, NATO should take care of that. Why are we over there?
Did you know that? Did you know Russia? They've been on a heavy war campaign against major Ukrainian cities. They're getting worse. They're not getting better. Okay, everybody. I'll see you next week. Godspeed ahead.
Now, one thing, do you have a blood pressure machine, Jane? Can we measure
No,
when you
it's
start the show and when you end it? So
I called the Hermantown paramedics at Walmart the other night. I was dizzy. And I couldn't function.
Oh my goodness.
And I did find out good news. my blood sugar was only 129.
Only, okay. No, it's
You know what? I take 40 units of insulin a day.
Oh, mercy.
So
That's something we should have a show on that. But Dawn, be sure to thank Pat for she hung in there. She kept it calm. We got to talk a little bit, because other times we had total blow-ups and that wasn't productive. So it's good to hear her thoughts on stuff. It's true.
no, she's getting older. She's not as combative as she used to be.
Well, to tell her I appreciate it. I really do. We got to see some clarity on things.
John,
President, a national officer, as well as I have my own podcast, and we don't allow stuff like this to happen.
Pat,
We'll keep Dawn.
can I ask Pat a question? Pat, do you think it was inappropriate for Bianchi to hang up on me?
Don't worry about that shit. She don't give a fuck. She believes Bianchi is one of the most racist, ignorant people on earth.
I think Pat wears the pants in the home.
She knows better.
All right, I'm coming to visit you guys this summer.
That's fine.
Maybe only for 3 days.
Well, we're not going to be here all July. We're going to be traveling. Well, in fact, in the middle of July, we'll be in Chicago for a week. And then we'll be all over the place.
Where's the NAACP convention?
Chicago.
Okay, then go to the Obama Presidential Center.
Yeah, go there. As a matter of fact, we may take time off from our convention to go there as a group. But because we do things like that. So one of the things that we'll be doing is also having time for potential family reunion afterwards. So we'll be there another 4 or 5 days. So that's
maybe I could meet you guys in the Midwest.
no, that's my thought.
Do you give free admission?
To where?
Oh, like an NAACP?
I think the Obama Center costs like 10 or 20 bucks.
Do they have like Black Friday where you can get in for free? No, they charge to get in.
John, that's a stupid comment.
You have to have tickets to get in, yes.
Oh, but are the tickets free though?
No, we are paying for balls and breakout sessions and talking to the president, and things like that. As I said, we saw Biden a week before he announced that he was going to be leaving, telling us that he was in the race for good. So we thought, after leaving the convention the year before last, that he was going to be ready. And then
let me know if they let you take pictures in there, and then like if there's a lot of rainbow stuff there, or if it's just more black culture, history.
Did you know, John? Did you know that Don and Pat were they had their faces on a giant marquee in Charlotte, North Carolina, for some kind of NASCAR thing?
Yeah, but you go to NASCAR, you can do that. You can get your picture. It's when you go in, you sign up for driving and all that, some of the other stuff, and they put your picture on there.
Yeah, I saw it on Pat's page.
I want to pay for a billboard with Don and Donald Trump and Pat together. I'll just give him a big hug.
That's no problem.
And he's wearing the Jesus outfit, putting hands, and he's got the shining light and the dove coming down.
John, why don't you Google Don?
I'm the one with the Jesus outfit. He's my little thing.
John, why don't you Google Don and see how important he is?
He's very important.
I'm on my commercials.
His mother was the first black cop in Milwaukee.
He's on the down low with Kamala.
I have a picture of him with Kamala. I have a picture of him with Amy Klobuchar. I have pictures of him with a lot of people.
But do you call her Kamala or Kamala?
Kamala,
Kamala, yeah.
They call her Kamala, but she's Camel.
Is Kamala or Kamala?
Kamala.
By the way, Don Lauren Hoffman made 5 sales on Windows.
Fantastic. He's doing a good job. Is he a salesman or is he a canvasser?
He's a canvasser that establishes leads, but it led to 5 sales.
Right. So he's getting the canvasser's chunk, not the salesperson chunk. If he's getting the salesperson chunk of 5 sales in a month, he's making $10,000, $12,000 a month.
No wonder.
Learning how to break into the windows.
No wonder I don't have to pay for his car insurance.
Yeah, and our windows are virtually unbreakable. But I don't know.
Because you know how he went into another house thinking it was his, and they got some kind of.
Don't bring up the dark past.
What the fuck happened? What?
He was. We're not talking about that on air. It's his personal life.
Forbidden knowledge. I'll tell you about it.
John, I'm taking you off speaker. It's not something we can discuss on radio.
Okay, it will be forbidden.
Otherwise,
Classified.
I'm gonna Fauci you.
I'll have to negotiate a ransom for this one.
There
Okay.
you go.
Don, I do have some things to tell you about my cookie, but I haven't had a chance to call you. I've been too busy.
We've been busy too. Go in Oakland on a.
Didn't you go to first? You went to Vegas,
Yeah,
then you went to Oakland for Pat's birthday. You went to the Alcatraz.
Is Pat from the Bay Area?
no.
She was born in California in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
The Bay Area is very romantic.
Yep.
John, you're from the Bay Area.
Born and raised in the armpit of the Bay Area, San Jose.
San Jose.
My
My
ex
honeymoon was in San Francisco and Carmel.
fiance lives in San Jose with his ugly Catholic wife.
Oh,
It's a great place to get married and a better place to leave.
He met her on Catholic Singles.
oh my God. He got divorced.
She's chubby and large, and he's hot, and he's still hot at 64.
And why did he marry her?
Because he's an insecure little twat. He's an insecure little twat.
He's a little twat or she's a little twat?
He's a little twat. He's only 5'3".
Oh, so he's one. Oh, wow.
But he was extremely good looking.
No, my dad, and he was like that. He liked big girls, and he was only 5.
So I'm gonna send you Don. I'm gonna send you a picture of Paul.
Whatever you want to do, I don't really give that. That's not my. Good. That's what I said.
So Don, by the way, Lauren works for Renewal by Anderson.
I was just gonna say because we're not down in.
I have to tell you, the last time I hugged a very skinny girl who was very beautiful, it hurt. Because her body, like her hips and her elbows were like it was like getting jabbed by a sharp object.
Her elbows, yeah,
Right.
her hips, and
No mercy.
the little knees, and it's like
It hurt to hug her.
So John, was that a girl you dated?
No, it was one of those, since I perform, you get, these gals that come up and they're like hug bandits. Not so much this year, but last year we had a summer of love. I mean, every week for a month, these girls would come up and a little bit drunk, and they would just latch on to me while I'm performing, and they wouldn't let go. I mean, like for a minute, and I can't, I'm not gonna hug them, and I'm not gonna put my hands on them, so I'm just like patting their shoulder like a grandpa would, and whispering, "It's okay, everything, Jesus loves you," and it was crazy. I mean, it's very ego boosting, but then you realize, they would have hugged a tree. They were so drunk.
Yep. All women have ultimate Most all women have agendas, hidden agendas.
Yeah, they like the power.
I have a hidden.
I'm the center of they're the center of the show, you know. So, but you know, hey, I got their attention. You know, this year not so much. You know, but people come up all the time, every week. They testify, they sing, they're inspired. They shake my hand. They go, man, you know, like you know, thank God you're out here. So I'm just like,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, go for it.
I'll be right
Or
back.
hold it.
Okay.
Or go get a pot and pan, you know. But, you know, it's very interesting. We inspire people because it is helly weird. And when we're out there, we're talking Jesus and love and light and all that good stuff. And it's just a good vibe, you know, because people feel, they're out there, they feel lost. You know that feeling when you go in the club and there's a lot of dark energy and crazy stuff can happen. And when we're out there, it's a different energy we put out. And occasionally, like I say, you know, every performance we get at least one person. It's guaranteed they will gravitate to us. They're homeless, mindless, meth or you know, alcohol, diseased person, and they're just like demons. They will attack us, or they'll yell at us, or make a scene. Every time, it just someone has to do it. But, you know, it lets us know we're out there for a reason. They don't bother the other people. They bother us because we talk about God. Never fails.
I have a question for Don before we hang up. Do you think, I don't think Bianchi's being paid by a racist organization, but do you think he's like the Jim Crow of the Jim Crow of the like the Power Boys or whoever that group was that Trump was in?
He doesn't seem to support black people. It is rather interesting.
I think that's like a weird phenomena that you don't support your race. He's proud of being black on one hand, but he doesn't want to acknowledge that black people are capable.
That's because he's, you got to understand psychology. There are people who don't like themselves, right, Jane?
Yes. That are you mean they're self-destructive?
They just don't like themselves. And if they're in a certain class again or culture, they extrapolate that to all people in their cultures. There are people who are, what do they call women haters?
Like misogynists?
Misogynists. There are people who are like that, who don't believe women deserve anything but deserve the man. And when you come up from a culture like that, then that's what happened. You know?
I think it's because he was very successful as a construction worker, so he looks down on any kind of he looks down on black people who struggle.
But do you think he's in charge of the plantation to keep the rest of the Negroes in order?
Yep.
Yup, and he gets mad when black people kill each other. But
you see, so he's not even from America. So he doesn't understand the history of the complete history of America.
He's Egyptian descent, but he was born in America. He was born in America.
His family aren't a drain on the welfare system.
Well, it's okay that he's successful, but he shouldn't knock people who are poor. Right?
Not necessarily. People knock people for less.
Well, I think that he's not supportive of poor people, like the way Pope Francis is.
Well, he's tough on them. He wants them to earn their way, not get a free ride.
And he keeps saying how black people fail in education. You can't really judge education by race. There's a lot of successful people. A black child just won a spelling bee recently.
But they still black people and learn how to read until 1954. So
Right.
we're behind on purpose.
Well, Frederick Douglass taught himself how to read, and he was one of the most eloquent writers I've ever read.
Well, we could give.
Frederick Douglass?
I think we should give them comic books. Kids like comic books. They'll be interested to read.
People are smart everywhere. There's naturally smart people, but a lot of them don't have cognitive application.
We should teach kids 2 or 3 languages so they know Spanish and they know some, Chinese and stuff. It opens up their minds.
And somebody told me that my son Lauren is well spoken because I'm well educated. Like they said that he can iterate his speech well because of me.
He just needed a dad figure.
Yeah.
He's still looking for his dad. He wants to go to Africa.
Maybe Don can help him.
He's secretly looking for his dad.
I thought you said he died.
He did, but
But y'all are all crazy.
in his soul, he's still looking for Sam Badio. Hello?
Yeah,
Well,
Should we all go to bed now? I want to go to bed.
yeah, you should save it for next time.
All right, bye, y'all. Bye.
Boy.
Bye, boy. This was my fiance in 1997. My fiance in 1997 who was 5'3".